Lions TV, we are sponsored by Regal Elevators and Lifts Consultants Limited, a company that is owned and operated by a Millwall fan, just like every single one of the sponsors that you can currently see in and around my new fish tank. If you are going to do a bit of business in 2021, then please keep it in the Millwall family by checking out all of our sponsors' website links in the description below. This is your Thursday Club video. We're going to look back at last night's absolute chaos at Queen's Park Rangers, a 3-2 loss, of course, after leading the game by 2-0 at the break. And we're going to look ahead to this Saturday's visit of Neil Warnock's Middlesbrough, who are currently knocking in and around the playoffs. We could close the gap on them if we can get a victory, but it doesn't always happen against a Warnock side. But as always, let's start out with last night and the starting 11 that started the match. Only one change was made from the team that won at Derby in the week. Scott Malone come back in for Murray Wallace. It was Bulkowski in goal, 3 centre-backs, Pearce, Cooper, Hutchinson, Marlon Romeo, right wing-back, Scott Malone, left wing-back, Woods, Evans and Ben Thompson in midfield with Mason Bennett and Jed Wallace up front. Okay, I said quite a lot about the game last night, so I don't want to dwell on it forever. I just want to cover the goals because I watched the highlights back this morning, and I want to just pick up one or two slight other things that I didn't mention and I picked up from the other boys' videos as well to talk about. So, start like a house on fire. Best 45 minutes I've probably seen all season. Intense, up for the calls. Looked like we had ideas and excitement going forward. And we scored very early on in the game. George Evans robs a Queen's Park Rangers player. Ball falls to Ryan Woods. Ryan Woods, acres of space, travel forward. Lovely through ball for Jed Wallace. Not only does Ryan Woods finally play a forward ball, but Jed Wallace shows composure as he hasn't done in recent weeks in front of goal. And he fires across the Queen's Park Rangers goalkeeper. And we're 1-0 up. After that, an absolute sensational ball from Ryan Woods once again. Picks out Mason Bennett, who I really feel for Bennett. And let's not forget now, Bennett scored 3 goals in the last 5 games. And I was fucked off that he got taken off as well. But I'll get to that later. Brilliant movement from Bennett. Told Woods where he wanted it. Woods puts it on an absolute silver sizzling platter for him. And Bennett should score. However, he doesn't let that deter his confidence. And straight after that, a long throw from Marlon Romeo. Jake Cooper's up from the back, flicks on. Mason Bennett volleys home under pressure. In challenge from a defender. 3 goals in 5 games for Mason Bennett. And I feel that him and Jed have been brilliant up front together. Yes, there's no recognised centre forward, but they've worked absolutely tirelessly up there. Even, they're taking their chances last night, yes, and I love it if you've got 2 strikers for 1 and they both score on the same evening. I'm all over that. So I love that fact about things, but also in recent games like Derby away, when they had no chances to shoot, nothing in the game, they worked very hard and they're starting to link very well as well, understanding each other's runs and the reading of the game, playing lovely 1-2s and dragging the team up the pitch. So massively impressed with those two of late, and you can't fault not only their ability on the pitch, but their desire in the games as well. So we go in at half-time and it's all good, isn't it? Everyone's absolutely flying. The fan base on Twitter, on my live stream, everyone's absolutely all over it. And then we come out the second half. As I said, from my experience of playing football, if you play any football, Sunday football, no matter what, you go 1-2-0 up away, especially away from home, even at home. The manager's team talk will be, you don't concede. Don't concede. First 15 minutes, they're going to come at you. They're going to have had a bollocking. Sit on what we got. Let's not go. We ain't got to go venturing forward. And I'll back rail in that instance. We ain't got to keep pressing now. Make them try and break us down. Did we sit too much? Well, no, I don't think we did, because we come out straight away and we almost score a third. We should have scored a third. Long ball in from Jed, I think it was. Again, Cooper's up from the back, causing problems. It drops to Sean Hutchinson. I watched it on the red button last night, so there was no opportunities of replays. I've watched the highlights back and back and back again today, especially the QPR goals, because there's a lot of people arguing on social media about whose goal was what, whose fault was what goal and things like that. So I don't think that was the case again, but I'll get onto that in a minute. I'm talking about in a minute Sean Hutchinson's chance. He's under pressure from a defender. I can give him more sympathy because he's a brilliant player for us for one, but not just that, he's not a striker, he's a centre-back. Not long after that, they equalise. Just after they equalise, I'll get onto their equaliser in a minute, Hutchinson has another chance. Great ball across, and Hutchinson again, it's a more difficult chance. It's coming over his shoulder. He takes it first time. I'm going to pick up something that Chitty said in his post-match, and he was spot on. Why is Sean Hutchinson, we're on his case for missing these chances, but why is he the one reading these balls in and getting in the right area? Shouldn't our forward-thinking players, our strikers, and our attacking midfielders be reading these runs? Why does it always seem to be Sean Hutchinson that picks up these runs and gets these runs right, as if he's got half like a striker's instinct? But he misses that one as well. But by this time, QPR have got one back. I've watched it back time and again, the first goal. And I'm going to stick by what I said last night for Queen's Park Rangers. I think it's just a good goal. They moved the ball quickly. The ball's crossed in quite quickly as well. It's not looped. It's not hung in the air. It's not in the air for long. And the guy who scores it has sort of got behind himself, headed it back over his own shoulder, across Bulkowski. Yes, he's a long way out, but it's a fantastic header. If you look where it goes, I don't think Bart stands a chance. I see a few people pointing fingers at Bart saying he should be beaten from that range. And other people saying that Pearce should have got there. He's pulled off Pearce. To be fair, the only way Pearce can get that is if he comes in front of him. And as I said, the ball's whipped in quick. Not only is whipped in quick, it gets a ridiculous header on it from the angle he's at to wrap his head around it. And in my opinion, it's just a brilliant header. At this point, this is one of the criticisms I can have for the manager. Can't fault the first half performance. Can't fault his team selection. Can't fault that the players have missed opportunities in front of goals. That isn't Gary Rowett's fault. What I will blame Rowett for is the writing was on the wall. I could see it. Everyone in the live stream could see it, and I'm sure you could see it. We was conceding possession. And in the first half, especially the first goal, Woods runs through, and it's a good ball from Woods. I'm not taking anything away from him. There was no one there. We seem to have so much time and space in behind their central midfield and their back four. There was huge, great gaping holes. Now, as the game went on, they got into the game, and then they started to dictate the play. That's why they got one back. And then the second was, the writing was on the wall. I thought Ben Thompson was terrible last night, and it should have taken him off sooner. And you needed at this point Billy Mitchell or Sean Williams both should have come on, because what they're both very good at is retaining the ball, playing the ball short and relieving the pressure, slowing the tempo of the game down to try and protect our lead. But Rowett didn't do that. And then the second goal comes, people saying Pearce, some people saying Woods. I've watched it back again, and it's a little bit of a Sean Williams and Bulkowski situation against Reading away. Woods shouldn't have called for it, okay? If he calls for it, the argument is, well, you've called for it, so I'm going to give it to you. Woods shouldn't have called for it because he should have been aware what his surroundings were. And I don't think he was fully. He couldn't have been. Having said that, Pearce, I think, should have been able to see more of the game than Woods because it's in front of him. And I don't think he should have played it to Woods. So you can blame Pearce for a poor pass and a poor decision to give it to Woods. And you can blame Woods for demanding the ball in a stupid area, which he does do a lot, and he does play high risk like that. And as I said, we're not good enough to do that. So as a result, the play gets turned over, cross into the box, and it's 2-2, and we got caught out of that second goal. There was three of them queuing up at the back post. Now, I'm not blaming others. I don't know where some of our defence were. Scott Malone starts, he's further up the pitch, yes, and he starts to see what's going to unfold, and he doesn't break his bollocks to get back. He sort of has a slow trot back, and then eventually when the ball goes in, he looks over at the linesman. Now, it wasn't Malone's fault by any stretch, but when you sense the danger, when you see three people lining up at the back post, you've got to bust your bollocks to try and get back, and maybe just thought, I'm not going to get back in that amount of time. It's a goal. So it was a goal, and it's 2-2. And then after that, he makes the sub. But by this point, I feel he killed Sean Williams and he killed Billy Mitchell because the pendulum had swung in the game. The momentum had twisted and turned in QPR's favour. And I don't think that we could then, they couldn't come on and do their role in the team. They couldn't dictate the play because we'd already completely lost the pitch. We'd lost the battle and we was completely under cosh. And as a result, Sean Williams and Billy Mitchell just neither of them managed to get in the game whatsoever. So, this happens, and then another substitution, which, it's not Bavarson's fault, but Mason Bennett, 3 goals in 5 games. You have to leave him on. Surely he's our danger man. Yes, he isn't the fittest, but once again, he didn't look too impressed with being taken off, and he should have been left on, in my opinion, because he is our main goal threat at the minute, along with Jed, and Jed always stays on. I don't know why he took Bennett off and why he put Bavarson on. I don't know what Bavarson offers, and by this point, the game was wide open. If anything, I would put Bradshaw on for a bit of pace, who later did come on. Now, the third goal is a corner. People again pointing fingers at Pearce. I'm not so sure. Look, we'll never know. Are they man-to-man? Do they go to their nearest marker? Do they have allocated players to mark? We don't know. All we do know is, again, for me, it's a good corner. Outswung into a good area. We should have been defending that area. Someone was on the front post, but no one was on the edge of the 6-yard box. The guy pulls loose from the crowd. It looks like, I've rewound it so many times, it looks like it was Pearce's man, but there's so many bodies in there and it's so congested that Pearce can't get away in time. And it's a good header across Bulkowski. A little bit Steve Morrison against Bradford in the playoffs. Now, when Shane Ferguson whipped that one in up at Valley Parade in the playoffs in 2016, 2017, or 2015, 16, whatever it was, we were saying that day, what a brilliant goal for Mill. So, again, yes, disappointed, but I don't really think that... I think it's harsh to blame Pearce in this situation. I think their first goal was a good goal. I think the third goal was just a complete fuck-up capitulation. We're done. We're done and dusted. The game's over. And but the second goal, Pearce and Woods, I think you can hold joint accountable, if you like. But I I don't know what this is. It seems to be a whole QPR have over us. It happens every year to us. I feel Rowett done enough in the game. I feel Rowett done his job enough on the night to get us over the line. We should have been out of sight by the time QPR got one back. But at that point, you know, you have to take into consideration, if my aunt had bollocks, she'd be my uncle. The game wasn't one. So switch it up now. Make those substitutions. And he left it too long, in my opinion. And I'm still a little bit in shock. I would keep saying I'd rather lose a game 3-2 and have like high entertainment and feel brilliant emotions, which I did last night. But I'm still a little bit devastated today. So in hindsight, be careful what you wish for. Would I have wanted a 0-0 draw? I don't think I would. I still don't think I would. And I will say this. I know people are fucked off with the team, and I'm fucked off. Of course I am. But fair play to Queen's Park Rangers and to our boys. Two teams, mid-table, can't go anywhere, and just absolutely gone at it, hammer and tongs. And we lose the game by 3-2. And I just don't think that this curse against QPR at Loftus Road will ever end. It's going to damage our confidence. Of course it will, going into Saturday's game. But listen, as we keep saying that, our race surely is run 12 points off the playoffs. Definitely safe. Time to experiment for next season, maybe. Play players that we know are going to be there and get rid of players out of the team now a little bit that aren't and start getting things right for next season. However, Gary Rowett said he isn't going to give out debuts just for the sake of it. So I don't know where we are with that one. But that's the end of the QPR game. I can't talk about it anymore. I am still a little bit shocked about it all. But let's move on, because we haven't got time. We've got to move on to Saturday's game against Middlesbrough at the Den. Middlesbrough managed, of course, by Neil Warnock, another manager that knows how to play Mill and always seems to get a result over us. Of course, they beat us 2-0 last season under Warnock, one of his first games in charge at the club. And they currently sit 2 places above us in the division in 8th place. They are 7 points above us and only 6 off the playoffs. Of course, there is that huge gaping gap to Reading, who currently occupy the final playoff spot. So again, you know, coming to the Den, we know Rowett likes to play a certain way, and I think Warnock knows that way and picks it off nicely. So I'm going to say, let's just go for it. Let's just change it up, go all out attack, try something similar, and if we lose the game, it doesn't really matter. Middlesbrough are doing quite well at the minute. They have won 3, drawn 1 and lost 1 of their last 5 games, and last time out, they won 2-0 at home against Preston last night. The one to watch for them is going to be Yannick Bolasie. He's on loan from Everton after spending 5 years. Great winger, getting on a bit now, 31 years old, but definitely the one to watch this Saturday at the Den. So, this is your pre-match prediction, and here we go. I am going to go for a Middlesbrough win by 2-1. Warnock always does the job on us. He knows how to play a Millwall side. He's got no eyebrows. He's about 89 years old. I love him as a manager. I think he's brilliant. I'll get hate for that, I know. But I just think he would have been a fucking legend at Neil Warnock. Then he said Neil Harris. Neil Harris was a legend at Mill. But yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-1 win. It's very unpredictable at the minute. So I don't really know what to say. But I'm going to go for a 2-1 Middlesbrough win. Sorry, not win for us. 2-1 Middlesbrough win with Jeb Wallace to get our goal from a penalty. So that's your lot for this Thursday club. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope it's gone out on Thursday and not Friday. But I am pushed for time. I think I might just about do it. If you're watching it on Thursday, you're watching it on Thursday. If you're watching it on Friday, I'm sorry it was late, but you're still watching it. I've just wasted 30 seconds of dead time to tell you that. Please check out the fan score predictions for the other boys at Lions TV. I'm pretty sure that one's going out at 5 p.m. on Friday night, and I'll be live streaming. Won't be at Lions TV Towers again Saturday. The decoration is still not complete, so I could be with a fish tank or I could be with my parents. But we'll be live streaming from 2:30 for Saturday's home game against Middlesbrough at the Den. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.